July, so it's time for us to sit down and talk about what we plan to read this month. But here's what we've discovered.
Here's what we've realized.
Yes.
We do a TBR video for every month, and we never read them. When it comes to the end of the month wrap up, they're hardly ever the ones that we talked about at the beginning of the month for the TBR. We decided we needed to change that. We know it's sucky for you guys to get all excited that we're gonna read these books and then we don't end up reading them that month.
We really sat down and thought about what it is that we want to read this month. So I have faith in us that we will stick to our TBRs. I know I am 100% going to read Where the Crawdads Sing. The movie is coming out July 15th, I think. I'm gonna watch the movie, so I need to read it before I see it. I know it's a coming of age story that's intertwined with a murder mystery. I've heard really good things about it. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I've said multiple times that I'm going to read this book, and I haven't done it yet, but I have no choice anymore.
You have no choice.
I'm going to be reading it. I'm really excited about it. I'm reading it right now. Like right after this.
Today.
Yes.
I'm finally going to start the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I've been saying I was going to start it. This was the series that I also said I wanted to have read by the end of the year, and I haven't started it yet. The reason why I have been putting this off is because for months I haven't been able to decide whether or not I should start with Assassin's Blade or Throne of Glass. I've been going back and forth. The way I am, I need to read it in chronological order, even though it's a prequel to the series. I finally decided I'm just gonna read Throne of Glass first. It was the first book to come out, so I'm gonna start with it first. As you guys know, we did love ACOTAR, even though that's not popular opinion, but
it's like half, yeah.
We did really love that series. I'm so looking forward to reading this one. This one is the blueprint. You know what I mean? She was like 15 when she wrote.
Oh, was she?
She was, I believe, 15 years old when she started writing this series.
Oh, wow.
So I'm excited to compare the writing between both. All I know is it's a YA fantasy series. Lots of adventure, lots of action. I can't wait to fall in love with these characters.
I know I want to read Something in the Water, and here was my idea behind this, right? I want to read this in summer, but I don't want to read it when we go on vacation because I don't need to be reading about something in the water when we're at the beach.
You're right.
So I figured now would probably be a good time to do it. Or maybe not, because then I'm going to be scared at the beach. These people are going on their honeymoon to Bora Bora, and something's in the water. So
and that's the book.
They go on this little excursion, and something's in the water.
You do like those movies, right?
Yeah.
Like 47 Meters Down and
loved
yeah.
47
Even I liked
Meters
it, and
Down.
I had to close my eyes most of the movie.
Yes, I do love movies like that, so I think I'll enjoy this. I did get this one for $2 at Goodwill too, so I need to go through that pile and start reading those books.
Up next, I have Tender is the Flesh. This one has been everywhere. Even though the concept sounds insane, everyone's been giving it 5 stars, so I have high hopes. It's a short read, and I love those. Basically, this story is set in a world where there was this virus that essentially infected all of the animals on Earth. They were no longer safe to eat. So instead, they've evolved and they're now eating human meat. Yes, so they are breeding
They're
humans.
like, we can't be vegetarian.
Right. They're like, we don't like salad, so
instead we're gonna eat each other.
They start eating humans, they start breeding humans, and they don't even call them humans anymore. They call it special meat. And we're in the perspective of this guy who works at a slaughterhouse, and he has to package up this meat and just distribute it. The author, I believe, is from Argentina. Don't quote me. But this whole story was written in a different language, and this is like the translated version. So I'm sure the original story is probably more powerful, but I've been seeing everyone raving about this story. I think also just the shock factor of what it's about. I'm hoping it is a overall good story. I like different concepts like this. Hopefully it's not too gruesome.
So I finally got the rest of the books in the Folk of the Air series. It's time to start The Wicked King. I feel like if I don't pressure myself to do it now, I'm just never going to do it. Everyone told us to keep reading it and it only gets better. This is a YA fantasy story. The ending of the first book we weren't expecting, so I am excited to see what is going to happen in this one.
2 books that I really want to read this month, and I plan on it, are ebooks. So I don't own the physical copies yet. If I end up liking the story, I will be purchasing both of them. But last month I read Hooked by Emily Mcintyre. It was a dark romance. My friend Nikki recommended it to me and I absolutely loved it. Since I liked that one so much and it was one of her recommendations, I knew that I wanted to read more of her recommendations. She highly recommended Hate by Tate James. I know it's a mini series. It has good reviews. I don't want to know specifics that happen in the plot, but I've been loving these dark romances, you have to go into them with like an open mind. Like you definitely have to just let the story happen without judging it too hard. I really enjoyed the ones I have read, so I'm excited for this one. If I like it, I'm gonna read the rest of the series. I know that I want to do that one, and then Priest by Sierra Simone. This one I know is a little bit more popular. I've seen it at book talk tables when we go to Barnes & Noble and things like that. Basically, a contemporary romance novel about a priest. As you know, like they're not allowed to date or like have romantic relationships with anyone, and I guess this girl comes along and changes that. It just sounds juicy. I'm excited. That one has great reviews as well. These are just two romances that I've been wanting to read, and I know that I'm in that mindset right now and I want to get those read soon.
I have so many summer books. I have to read them. I have these three here that we got from Goodwill. I need to read at least one of them. There's Love Your Life. I saw a really horrible review for this one on Bookstagram, so I don't know if I'm gonna read this one. Where the Road Leads Us and Wait For It. I feel like I see Wait For It a lot. A woman looking for a new lease on life moves to Arizona, where she rents a guest house on a gorgeous property with a mysterious owner. A man who teaches her about resilience, courage, and ultimately true love. I don't want to read this.
Oh no!
In this funny, big-hearted novel about hope and healing. Scratch that. After I've read the three summaries of those, we're trying to be realistic here, and I don't know if I'm feeling those. We'll see if I get to them, but instead I'm gonna read Things We Never Got Over. I did just get this one from Target. I've been waiting to read this one for a really long time. I see myself reading it in the summertime. It's basically just like a chaotic small town romance. There's a lot of stuff happening here. Everybody in this town hates her. She has no job, she has no money. She's dealing with like this 11-year-old niece she didn't even know she had. I think it's gonna be a freaking experience. So I'm really excited for this one.
So I did read City of Bones last month. This month I do want to read City of Ashes, book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I really enjoyed the first one. YA fantasy story. Lots of adventure, a bunch of things get unraveled. Clary, our main character, is finding more and more about her past and who she actually is. I do think the first book was an introduction to this world, and I'm excited to see where it goes, because normally the second books really pick up. And this one I can just really see myself reading this month because I just read City of Bones.
We've said it multiple times. We're trying to make our way through the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series this year. Next up for me is Thrive. The last book, Hot House Flower, had some really crazy plot changing stuff happening. I'm ready to get back to the roots, Lily and Low.
Last I have The Risk, the next book I have in the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy. Just like you said, you're trying to get through the Addicted series right now. You finished this one, I haven't. This is just the one I have next. I really did enjoy The Chase last month. I forgot how quick these reads are, so I think this is very realistic for me if towards the end of the month I need something to kind of just get under my belt. And if we end up doing the 24-hour readathon again, I think this will be one of the picks for me. I already know who the girl is in this book because she was introduced to us in the last book, and I really liked her, so I'm hoping I like this couple. This was your favorite, right, in the Briar U series?
That one, and I think the next one after that.
Okay, yeah.
It was like a tie.
I'm looking forward to it. Your classic contemporary sports romance novel. I know not everyone likes these, but we've liked all of them so far.
These are all the books that we for sure know we want to read this month.
I think it's realistic.
Yes. Once I put those 3 summer books away, it became very realistic, yeah. Let us know what book you're most excited to read in July.
As always, thank you guys for watching. We do put out new book videos. What? Never mind. We'll see you next time. I look like I work at the Olive Garden. Which is alright. Breadsticks.